Digital artist AJ Brockman has never let spinal muscular atrophy, a progressive neuromuscular disease, interfere with his art. With the use of one finger on his left hand, he is able to manipulate a mouse and have no limitations due to his disability. Wheelchair-bound since the age of 2, the now 23-year-old Brockman has become an accomplished digital artist. Using computer software to paint portraits, landscapes, and poster art, he has worked with several high-end clients, including major corporations, nonprofits, government, and even a family portrait of the President of the United States. AJ said, "I view myself as being differently able, and I live life to the fullest every day. I consider myself an old soul, and that carries throughout my artwork. Using life experiences, my interests, and many other forms of inspiration, I create. My technique is a hybrid of impressionism and realism, which creates a unique composition. An extremely time-consuming process. I do hours of research on my subject matter before I ever open the canvas. As a South Florida native, a lot of my work reflects the ocean, landscapes, and a beachside lifestyle. However, my work runs the gamut, and I do not limit myself to a specific genre." Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce AJ Brockman.
My name is AJ Brockman, and I am a digital painter. Digital painting itself has been around for a while, but it's been in different, arenas like concept art and architectural drawings and stuff like that. So I'm kind of bringing it to the next level in the fine art aspect. I started in art because I love it. I have a passion for it. When I was younger, I would paint traditionally. I used the paintbrush and acrylics just like any other artist would. And as my disease progressed, I began to use the use of my hands and was forced to transfer into more of a digital medium. I was fortunate enough to develop and understand how to use the computer and computer software to my advantages early on, and that's kind of how it started. I paint with my left hand, but more specifically, I only paint with one finger on my left hand. I really only have, 2 or 3 inches range of motion, left to right and up and down. I mean, that's it right there. And I'm able to use the mouse pad to do the brush strokes. And I always say that if J-Lo is going to insure her butt for $1 million, I should insure my hand for $1 million, because it's definitely my $1 million finger. I'm not a very religious person, but I think that, you know, we more along the lines of fate. You know, like I've been given this hand in life, and it's, you know, I have so many drawbacks in certain areas, but I still have my one finger, and you know, I use that because that's really all I have left, and I'm able to exploit that to still create and do what I want to do. And you know, I feel fortunate that I at least have that finger to still work with. And when the day comes where I don't have my finger anymore, where my disease progresses to where I can't do what I'm doing now, then, you know, I'll move on to the next step and see where this goes.
Wow, thank you very much. Wasn't expecting that, for sure. So, well, it's pretty surreal to be here in front of all you guys today, knowing that, you know, I was the one in your shoes just a few short years ago. I only graduated in '09, so we've been real busy lately in the last few years. But I was fortunate enough to be hired right out of college, right after graduating, and I was actually hired by a former DMAC professor. So I tell you guys that because you never know when an opportunity might arise. I had no idea that I was, you know, basically interviewing for a job the entire time at DMAC, and landed the job right out, and it was truly amazing. So had a really great time working for that firm. I loved my job, but I learned from it every day. It was a great experience. But there was always something missing, and I decided to go ahead and leave that job rather than getting fired like Paul over here. But yeah, and I ended up leaving to pursue my passion, which was the fine art and digital painting. While one day I was sitting at home, and I'm pretty good at sitting. But I was sitting brainstorming on how to get my name out there, how to launch my fine art career, and I thought, you know, what bigger way to get my name out there than to do a portrait of the first family? So I spent the next 6 months working on that portrait, and a lot of people think it's a photograph, but it's about 70 different reference photos that I used to create that. And it's the only family portrait that includes the dog Bo, so that was super important to me. And I knew that if I focused on it and it came out the way that I had envisioned, that it would get the president's attention. Now, I didn't have any leads or anything. You know, it's like, how are you going to get in front of the president, AJ? That's pretty ambitious, but I've always dreamed big, and that's kind of how it all started. So I finished the portrait, and I sent it off to his campaign, and I partnered with a local congressman, and about a month later I heard back, and he loved it, and he wanted to meet me and see it. And this was right around re-election time, so things were a little crazy, and they asked me to come to the West Palm Beach Convention Center, where he was doing a rally, and I showed up, had the portrait ready, everything was ready to go, and it turned out to be an absolute nightmare. So it was a zoo. They were really unprepared, and they really didn't even know I was coming, so there was kind of a miscommunication there. So I was really bummed out, and here I spent all this time. I thought I was finally going to do it, and then it turned out that it didn't happen. So sometimes you guys are going to run into disappointment in your life, but you have to grow from that. So I knew that eventually we would make it happen, and about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from his campaign again, and he was down here in Del Rey, actually, doing another rally, and that's when I actually got to present it to him. And your politics aside, he was a really genuine guy. It was an honor to be able to do that. And he told me that he was going to take it back with him on Air Force One and one day hang it in his private library. And I woke up the next day and I had a half a page picture in the New York Times. So he's definitely a man of his word, and that was really spectacular. So always dream big, and know that, you know, if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I don't say that to lessen my accomplishments. I say that to empower your accomplishments. So just know that. And finally, I want to leave you with a little more advice here. The one thing is be memorable. I've always had my wheelchair to kind of, you know, make me memorable. I don't let my wheelchair define who I am, but it definitely helps. And one thing that I did that was pretty cool was I grew my handlebar mustache. And I did that because not because I'm a hipster or it was trendy, but although I do like skinny jeans and PBR, but I grew it so that people would remember me for my mustache rather than my wheelchair, and it turned out that way. And it's okay to be different, you know. Always try to stand out, and normal people are boring. So yeah, so always stand out, and definitely, and get used to drinking coffee and staying up late, although, Paul, you drink too much coffee, I think, buddy. Yeah, because that'll help your creativity, because there will be some late nights, as I'm sure you guys know. But finally, my last thing is here, you know, everybody in this room can create. You proved that by graduating. But what's the difference between to create and being truly creative? Well, we're going to do a little spelling bee here. So, to create is C-R-E-A-T-E. Well, you're going to drop the last E, and that E stands for excuses. So never have any excuses. And then you're going to add an I-V-E, and the I-V-E stands for I vow excellence. So if you guys can create and vow excellence, that's how you will truly be creative.
AJ, thank you again for participating today. I remember AJ as a student. I was fortunate enough to be one of his professors, and me and AJ clicked right away through the program Illustrator, and it kind of turned into a little bit of a competition, but I think he's beat me up now a bunch. AJ strives to raise expectations, and through his artwork motivates others to excel. He's extremely dedicated to his craft and has never missed a deadline, ever, even as a student. Okay? He is exceptionally talented and never, ever let anything hold him back. I'm proud to present AJ with the 2013 DMAC Inspirational Award.